boys and girls, Miss Lehman here to go over math for today. We have moved on to a new chapter. We're working on three-dimensional shapes. We're on chapter 10, lesson 1 on page 711. Today's lesson is going to be on cubes and prisms. Our essential question is, how can I identify three-dimensional shapes? So, if we were in class, we would have a three-dimensional rectangular shape and a three-dimensional cube shape. So we will trace the faces, so you would get just one shape. If we were to draw this, I don't even know that I can draw it out so it looks three-dimensional for you. I'll do my best. Certainly not perfect, but you get the idea that it has depth. And then there's a cube, and that drawn three-dimensional looks like that. So the difference between two-dimensional and three-dimensional is that two-dimensional is flat and three-dimensional has shape. So we can see that if this was like a Kleenex box, the shape that it would be related to is the rectangle. And if this was like a die, like you roll for a board game, the shape it would be related to is a square. So you can think of them as presents too. I know that's hard to do when you don't have it right in front of you, but think of Kleenex boxes and dice and things like that. So let's talk a little bit about this. It says three-dimensional shapes are solid shapes. Cubes and rectangular prisms have faces and vertices, or a vertex. So first we're going to look at the cube. So I attempted to draw the cube on the last page. You have to think of a cube as having faces. Faces are all of these parts, but the problem is we can't really see them unless we're holding on to them. So this is difficult. You have to vision it in your mind. So this would be one face, 2, 3, 4, all the way around. 5 on top, 6 on bottom. So it has 6 faces. My suggestion to you is to get a die or a box or something like that to help you see it. And then vertices, you have to count the parts where the sides go together. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And if it has 4 on top, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's look at the rectangular prism. Now remember, the faces are these parts that we could draw on. So we have 1, 2, 3 in the back, 4 on the side, 5 on the top, 6 on the bottom. 6. If you can't vision it, get out a cereal box or something like that and count the faces. Vertices, 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember where parts join. 5, now we're doing the bottom. 6, 7, 8. So notice that every cube has 6 faces and 8 vertices. Every rectangular prism has 6 faces and 8 vertices. So we're going to come down here. Identify each shape, circle the name. Write the number of faces and vertices. So is this a cube or is it a rectangular prism? Correct. We're going to circle rectangular prism. Now we're going to count the faces, or you could memorize up here. So 1 that I can see forward, 2, 3 in the back, 4, 5 is the top, 6 is the bottom. 6 faces. Vertices, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have to go to the bottom. 5, 6, 7, 8. Cube or rectangular prism? Does that look like a cube or does it look like a rectangular prism? Cube. We have to count the faces. 1, 2 is the side, 3 is the back, 4 is this side, 5 is the top, 6 is the bottom. Vertices, 1, 2, 3, 4. Count the bottom. 5, 6, 7, 8. And notice every time a cube will have 6 faces and 8 vertices. Every time a rectangular prism will have 6 faces and 8 vertices. I encourage you to get out a box so you can really see it. All right, we're on page 713. It says identify each shape, circle the name, write the number of faces and vertices. So is this a cube or rectangular prism? It's a cube. How many faces? Well, there's 1 facing us, 2 is in the left, 3 is in the back, 4 is the right, 5 is the top, 6 is the bottom. How many vertices? 1, 2, 3, 4 on top, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the bottom. Is this a cube or a rectangular prism? Right, it's a rectangular prism. How many faces? 1 facing me, 2 to the left, 3 in back, 4 to the right, plus the top is 5, and the bottom is 6. How many vertices? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Circle the shape of the face that makes each object. So right here is the face, right there. What shape is it? Is it a circle, a square, a triangle, or a rectangle? Correct, it would be a square. So here is a face, right there. What would it be? A circle, a trapezoid, a triangle, or a rectangle? Rectangle, good. Circle the object that can be made by the faces. So you have 6 faces. Would it look like that, that, or that? They're all the same size. Right, it would be the cube. That looks like a Rubik's Cube. All right, please turn the page to 714. All right, there's a loaf of bread. Oh, maybe it's cheese. It's cheese. My first name is Colby. My last name is Jack. What shape are the faces on this cube of cheese? So they even told us, draw each face. Well, if it's a cube, it's a square. And how many faces would it have? Good. You remembered. 6 faces. And we would write square. If you put these shapes together, what 3-dimensional shape do you make? Circle the name. So look at this. There are different sizes. So if it's different sizes, we know it can't be a cube. It has to be a rectangular prism. And then I want you to write, how are cubes and rectangular prisms different? Boys and girls, I know that this is a little bit hard, but if you could please try to get out a box of some kind, I think you will find it much easier. Have a wonderful afternoon.